Welcome to another video. Honestly, starting school again felt like stepping massively into the unknown. Now that I've settled in, I've realized that it's absolutely nothing like what I expected, but everything that I needed. Honestly, when I first started, I had a couple of worries. The first one being that I wouldn't fit in. I was 29 when I started school, I'm 30 now, and I was definitely concerned that age would be a limiting or I suppose isolating factor, and it absolutely wasn't. I was also really worried that I wouldn't be able to understand the content. I come from a communication design background and my bachelor's is in communication design. I've worked as a designer, and so I think taking the step into a fine art world, even all of my art to date has basically been commercial illustration or personal projects. And so I think with a really quite commercialized style, I was really concerned that I wouldn't understand the language of fine art or I wouldn't fit in the fine art scene. Now that I've started, honestly, those worries haven't gone away entirely. I feel like I fit in some ways and that I don't in others, but that's got nothing to do with my age. That's more just, I think, my own sense of anxiety and understanding the content. I think I've really started to invest time into reading artistic academic texts. And I've really been working on understanding art through a critical lens, diving into analysis, diving into different sorts of interpretations of artworks and trying to look beyond the surface level of what the art is trying to tell us. I had a couple other worries. One of them was that I wouldn't be able to keep up with the workload. And this is entirely a problem of my own making, I suppose, because I knew I still had to keep my job. And this is technically a full-time course. And so I knew I was essentially doing two things full-time. It would be a lot and it would be a lot of pressure. This didn't go away. And I think I'll talk about this more in another video. The time management I struggled with. I had a very rigid structure, a very rigid routine, which allowed me to get the grades in semester one that I was after and produce work that I was proud of. But there was a lot going on. And so moving into next year, I'm definitely making some changes to other areas of my work life to make space to really focus on the MFA. It was definitely learning just how human I am. And so I think the downside of that was that I came out of the MFA, I had my final semester one artworks I was really proud of in so many ways. I think I really pushed myself artistically, I pushed my style, but I consistently have in my head that it's not enough. My fourth worry was that my illustrative style was too childish or naive, or it was actually a concern that was kind of validated when I started, and I looked at all of the other work that admitted students had been producing previously, and it was all very fine art-ish. There's a really diverse range of artistic practices like metalworking and ceramics and fiber arts, painting, drawing, ink. It was really, really cool stuff. Felt more in the realm of fine art than my specific practice. And so I think that's something I'm still battling with, because I like cute art, I like fun, shallow stuff. And I think that there is a place for that in the art world, but in the construct of a degree based on conceptual contemporary artistic practice, it definitely feels like there's less of a place for that. And I think a lot of people who go to art school probably end up having this experience, and that's why you see a lot of the videos of like art school killed by creativity, because there is like a pressure to be analyzing and producing and critically thinking about the stuff that you're making. And that doesn't always feel good, and it doesn't always feel like lighthearted, and it's a lot. Honestly though, despite the challenges that I've discussed and despite like the difficulties I came up against in balancing stuff, it has been so rewarding. Seeing my work evolve and grow. Like, I knew coming into the MFA that my work was like, by fine art standards, considered quite naive. I did know that, as much as like I wasn't thrilled to like face that fact, and I was also quite self-conscious of that fact. I found my work evolving, I found it becoming deeper and more meaningful, and I found myself able to start to tackle topics that prior to starting the course I never would have really considered facing or embodying in my work, or even exploring. So like, you know, more personal level stuff to do with my family, and more serious topics to do with grief and love and like your place in the world. Only been semester 1. So like I'm so excited to see where the next year and a half takes me. And lastly was just the sense of community. As somebody that's worked like creatively, largely in isolation for like years, being around other people, seeing their practices, seeing the way that they think about work and they talk about work has been so refreshing and like so good for my soul. So stay tuned, because in coming videos, I'm going to share more about my process, share a couple of really big projects that I worked on. And I'm also going to share a trip that I took to Japan, which was really fun and super inspiring. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like and a follow. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.